Check 1 2. Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Anybody? Anyone home? Anybody home?
Boom. Let's go. Thanks.
All right, we're on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties here. With the. I mean, what kind of show? You could turn that down now. What kind of show would it be without a little technical difficulties, guys? So good morning to everybody in the chat. Don't know where Gooch went. He was here for a second, and then he's just gone. So anyway, it is Sturch Wrestling Rob behind the glass. Gooch trying to get involved eventually from downtown Belmont. Yeah, so I'm a little thrown off my game as of right now. Usually that doesn't happen. I'm usually very, very equipped with the rundown. But there's a lot of stuff to go on going down today. We have ourselves a Seattle Seahawks preview, which I know all of you guys are very on the edge of your seats, like holding on for dear life as far as, you know, what do I think the Seahawks are going to be? It's going to be a miserable season for the Seahawks. But if you want to support Chop Sports, and the only way to get this volume checked out and everything that you're listening to and paying for, I know Ken Paulman came in before asking for a refund. Ken, I will give you your refund, but first go over to patreon.com and support the show for $3, $5, $10 increments. That would be wonderful. So thank you guys for sticking with us as always. As we await Gooch, I don't even know if he's going to
texted him and said that we reset. We're waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if that actually happens. But anyway, so big weekend just comes and goes. The NFL preseason is officially over, so that's cool. We have ourselves a little bit of a bye week coming up. So everybody who has some nagging injuries or questionable or anything like that, maybe they'll get back into this whole ordeal. There's a lot of things going down as far as a rundown is concerned, because Gooch had texted me and there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
So let's just see as we go to. All right. So basically, one of the first things that kind of came up yesterday, I did a draft down at Bar A. And first of all, I will say this. I regret life yesterday. I regret all of that. I do not like the shore. I don't like any of that shit. It's the worst place on earth, and it's a cesspool of just creatures. And so again, didn't like my experience over at DJ's. I liked the company that I was with, a lot of my good buddies, but I was also doing a draft, and in that draft, I think I did all right. I think if anybody gives a shit, I wound up with a pretty good first 3 rounds, and I don't know how this actually panned out like this. But according to what I got in the first 3 rounds, it was at the 7 spot. I got Najee Harris. On the way back, I got Javonte Williams. Hey. And in the 3rd round, I got David Montgomery. 3rd round. So I'm like, you know what? Steal alert. Like, I'm taking that. Quarterback, Justin Herbert. I went very young at receivers. I went Amon St. Brown, Gabriel Davis, Rashad Bateman, Olave. I got George Pickens. I got Sky Moore. I got friggin' Alec Pierce. I got Tolbert. I got a lot of receivers.
How many drafts have you had already? This is your 3rd?
That was my 3rd. The second one wasn't really, I guess it was with a bunch of wrestlers. So I feel like they weren't, as into it as I was. But in any event, it was good. So this is the 3rd one. I feel like this is my best one so far.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the one I think you did at home. That was like one.
I like that too. I like that too. I caught some shit for that one. I didn't, there was a lot of stretches. Like I think I drafted Akers in the 3rd, you know what I mean? Zeke in the 2nd. So it was like, I was with my heart on that one, rather than the actual experience. But anyway, so the reason why I bring up a draft, and usually I wouldn't, and if Gooch gets back on here, we'll talk about his best ball draft, which again, I don't even know what the fuck best ball is. But he's trying to explain it, and then he's like, that's perfect conversation for the show. So we'll talk about that in a second. Glow stick day. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it was beyond horrible. When I say horrible, I mean like just
what time? So so it was 11 a.m. I saw the beer picture.
I was at the bar by 11, Bar A.
So what time did you leave to get down there?
10.
Okay.
Like I got down there like 10:45, was in the car for a second, then got in there, sat at the bar, started doing some research, some mock drafts and shit with a beer in my hand at 11 o'clock. Breakfast beers are a must sometimes. And then obviously the draft happens from 12 to about 3, and then I go to DJ's at like 3:30 to like 5, and I was like, I've had enough. I gotta get home. So I left. And that was that. But the reason why I bring up a draft is because of what happened literally hour after this draft concluded, where everybody was talking up about Robinson Jr., the Commander. I'm gonna get shot. Like, what? Like held at gunpoint and shot. A lower body injury is everything that I've been reading as far as that's concerned. Dead wrong. I'm not dead wrong. DJ sucks. I will say this, and as the internet crashes too, while we're all on it, it's just one of those days, man. I'm telling you, eventually this show will not be live. So I'm telling you, as in, I'm making an executive decision that come like January, I think we're going to go days a week. I'm going to have a everyday show anymore, and the show's going to be pre-recorded, and we'll talk to you guys in the chat or some shit, because the internet is the biggest bug of all time, and it's because of just one streaming show. It's the only show we do streaming, this one, and it's the biggest pain in the balls ever. Introduce me to the hut. All right, so we're all fucked up again, but in any event, so Brian Robinson gets shot. That's some terrible shit. And we don't know, obviously, the status. The coach was with him last night. So that all happened.
You know what's a shame about that whole situation is like for the past 2 or 3 weeks, this is what you're seeing on Bleacher Report, ESPN, that this guy's going to be the RB1 after last year. Antonio Gibson has 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 days ago, Ron Rivera came out and said, well, Antonio Gibson's our starting kick returner.
That right away should have been your red flag that he's no longer your premier back. You know what I mean? So,
and then overnight he gets robbed, shot. Now we're back to Antonio Gibson again, right?
I guess that's what's going to have to happen. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. But people are probably, you're saying we're back. I don't see that as a thing. It doesn't look like we're back over on my status bars. But anyway, so Brian Robinson gets shot. That's a big deal. Not just in the world of fantasy. I mean, it's just in the world, bro. Yeah. Just straight up garbage how that happens to somebody. You can't sit there and say like, all right, well, maybe he should have not put himself in a position to be in. I don't know where he got shot. I don't know what I don't know if that's going to work or not, but he's going to see. His mic is muted right now, but Gooch is trying to make his way into the show. You're still muted, Gooch. He's muted himself, so he has to unmute himself.
How about now?
Nope, don't have anything. So I don't have you. I don't have you. Sorry.
It says you're muted on your end.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not.
He's good over here, but I don't know. I don't hear you, Gooch. Sorry, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like maybe your mic is wrong. I don't know.
We hear him. He says we can hear.
But that doesn't do us any good.
Oh, really? They hear him? Oh, all right. Well, that makes no sense whatsoever. So that definitely can't happen because I need to talk to him. But I don't know. They hear Gooch, so Gooch is gonna head out. I guess. Or, I don't know if you want to take over the show. You can take over the show because I'm fed up already. As Monday morning has already been off to a shitty start. As we're talking, hello, Ashley. Jesus Christ. You know what?
He's gone. He's gone.
Anyway, back to you, Dave. So, I don't know what the hell that was all about. The fact that I don't know, man. They heard him, and
he wasn't coming through the headphones.
He wasn't coming over here anyway. Whatever. It'll be a shorter show today because I've already kind of had it with the show, or with today at least. But anyway, so Brian Robinson shot up. That sucks. There was another thing that came over. They had whatchamacallit. So the NFL did their top 100 players, right?
It's over already?
It's over. And who's number one?
Mahomes?
Give me a fucking
Brady?
Tom Brady. Like, give me a break.
Give
me an actual break. Because it's like, I don't need this anymore. Gooch not coming. I just don't understand that logic. Like, he's not the best player in football. He's not even probably the best player on his team. Like, I don't understand where like I know it's the whatchamacallit. It's the players are, well, not even that. The players are voting on the players.
That's true.
So that's how it is. So everybody's like, oh, Tom. You know what I mean? Like, it's just enough. Like, I don't need to hear any more about Tom Brady. And he just comes back and he was very transparent in his whatchamacallit, in his
interview when he came back, when they asked
him, there was like, I'm 45, I'm going through some shit.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And I was like, well, I respect that. I respect him like telling everybody that, look, he's got his own real world shit happening. And I'm sure, look, he's a dad. Like, he's just, yes, historically he's the best player. Yes, he is the GOAT. There's no questions asked about that. But like, top player in the NFL right now is not Tom Brady. It's just not. And anybody who thinks that Tom Brady is the best player in football right now, you're sadly mistaken. You're absolutely mistaken, because that's not the case at all. So anyway,
it is kind of weird though. I mean, I get it. He is probably, you have to say, one of the best players of all time. The guy's won 7 Super Bowls, been to a ton of them.
Yeah,
it's not over yet.
Can't take that away from him.
Is he the best player in the NFL right now? No way. There's no way.
No,
he's not even
zero
top 15
shot.
Probably
zero shot. So Brady gets that. I'm not going to run down the entire amount of people. So Adidas has decided to drop Fernando Tatis as a sponsor. Too. So I guess when you do the juice ain't worth the squeeze when you lose sponsorships and you're losing money. However, look at his contract. Do you think, does he need fucking Adidas right now? He doesn't really need any of that. But it is alarming in his career and his legacy, that sponsors are dropping you off the face of the earth. You're supposed to be the future of baseball. You're supposed to be this face of baseball and kind of represent the youth going forward. Yes. And now you got Adidas saying, you know what? We've had it. Like, we don't want to deal with anybody that's breaking the not the law, but like, what I'm saying, like breaking the rules of baseball and stuff like that and getting caught. So the fact that Adidas stepped up and did this, it makes sense. Speaking of disciplinary action, the Bills did the right thing. So the punt god, or whatever the hell he called himself, he didn't admit to guilt, but he admitted to being in the situation or being there. Right away, the Bills were like, "That's fun. You're out."
I mean,
You know,
what
like,
else could they have done though?
No,
You know, they had a business decision. You got to do it, right?
But look at the Browns. They're like, "Oh, well, never mind. It's okay. We're good."
Two different positions, too. And look
one's
at
a punter, one's a quarterback, right? So that's why I'm just like, all right, like the Bean, the GM, I think his name is Bean, over with the Bills. He did the right thing. He said, "You know what? The hell with this shit. We're not getting involved in all this garbage. You're out. Goodbye." We can get a punter. We can find a punter, call my boy Marquette King. All right. He's looking for work and he's about to go punt in the XFL again. So bring him on. But like for this to happen the way it did, no details need to be necessarily talked about, but it's just like enough's enough of these guys that are getting involved in these situations, whether it be before or after or during their careers. You're just a piece of shit and you can't do that. You just can't do that.
Look at what just came out about George Foreman, or if they're 70 years. Not in the 70s, they said that. Did you saw that in the news this weekend?
What's that?
George Foreman, 2 girls came out from the 70s.
He came out and said that's complete crock of shit.
I mean, that you would hope so.
He probably gave him 2 Foreman grills and told him to shut the fuck up.
You know the story about the Foreman grills?
No.
That was offered to Hogan and he turned it down first.
So Hogan had a chance to have the Hogan grill and he said
turned
no.
It down.
And then George Foreman was like, "I'll do it."
Made millions off it.
$1 million. It's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Insane.
That is nuts, though.
Oh man.
But yeah, just come on, guys. You guys are professional athletes. You should know to stay out of certain situations all the time. And it's just important, bro. It's a scary world we live in, Dave. Especially you're a father.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a father.
Mm-hmm.
4 boys. You have a boy too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want your kids to go off into the world and be respectful human beings. You know what I mean? At all times when nobody's watching.
Right.
Constantly. Right.
If you had, like, I've always lived under that adage too of like, between that and also like when people do like good things like charity or something like that, like if you have to go out and tell people that you 100%. Did it, I don't know if that was your intent. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's be respectful. You're in college, and I understand things happen in college. Mm-hmm. We're involved with our college kids that came in here as interns. You treat them with respect. You got to do. I don't know, man. It's just a weird. College is weird, man. I can't speak for people that go to universities because I never did. Yeah. I went to my community college and did my trade school, and that was it.
But maybe it was easier for you, right?
I mean, I never put myself in. There was no Middlesex County college parties. You know what I'm saying? Like I was at parties during college, and I partied a lot at Rutgers, but like never in my mind did I say like, you know what? Whatever I do here, nobody will ever find out about it. Like that's bullshit. In a transparent world, forget it.
Your whole life. But I would be thinking about that every day. Like, all right, when's it going to come out? When's it going to come? Especially if I'm a professional athlete.
100%. And that's a big deal. You just gotta. And I'm not even saying cover your tracks. Don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche.
Don't be an asshole. Yeah. Don't put yourself in a position.
Get out of that situation.
If you have athletic ability, even if you don't have athletic ability, if you're just trying to be a good person and get through life without being a piece of shit, don't put yourself in these situations. And I don't know what Robinson was doing. I don't know if he was in a bad area or anything like that. And I can't speak for that. I haven't really read into it. But just don't put yourself, like all these guys speeding and shit, Ruggs killing somebody. It's like you're putting yourselves in these positions. These are children, man. These are children. They're 20 years old. Pretty much the age of everybody I saw at DJ's last night. Which, by the way, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. This is not working out well. But anyway, so it's an unfortunate situation, and that's where we're at with that one. And basically putting a bow on the preseason. The preseason comes and goes, thank God.
Quick preseason, fast.
Well, there's only 3 games.
Only 3 games, but still, like
it did go fast. It didn't linger. Yeah, I felt like there was the kickoff for the preseason happened like 8 minutes ago, and then all of a sudden, like bang, we're done. Listen,
it was a car robbery, Bailey saying.
Yeah, no, I know he was held at gunpoint. I know the story at that point, but where was the gun robbery? You know what I mean? Like, was somebody tailing him? Was he in a bad part of the neighborhood? Like, did he make the wrong turn? You know what I'm saying? Like all these details, it's almost as if like, all right, man, like just don't put yourself in that position. You're about to be the starting running back of the Commanders out of nowhere. Like nobody even knew who you were 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, exactly. Kelvin Joseph went through that shit over the year. You hang out with the wrong crowd. they do something stupid, you're linked. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, you are involved with these people.
Happens too many times.
It happens way too many times. You got to stay out. You can't be, I'll be the fall guy, or don't worry, I got this covered, or not. Like, just don't put yourself in these situations, and you won't have to deal with any of this garbage. Any of it.
You're 100% right, man.
So anyway, so as I said, we're in the bye week now between regular season. But before you know it, next Monday, guys, is Labor Day, and next Thursday is kickoff. Man, I can't believe we're here. Thank God. So, all right, you watched three preseason games of the New York Jets. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Listen, we all know the situation with Zach Wilson. I've always told you, and I'm like, I'm a real Jet fan. So when we got Le'Veon Bell, I kind of knew, I wasn't really excited. We've seen the great. And then, I was not really excited about drafting someone like Zach Wilson. I was more of a Justin Fields guy. But this team looks good. It's different. It looks like a different, the way they're thinking, the way the coach,
does
definitely
seem
coaching
like
scheme.
Different mentality over there with the Jets. Yeah.
It's not that we're going to be great, but
listen,
something to watch.
I also think that they have not a decision to make, because clearly it's going to be Flacco, right? For the first couple weeks or however.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of rumbling saying that it should be Mike White.
Or they have I can't say his name, but they also have another quarterback too.
I saw him yesterday.
They got to cut one of those guys. They're not going to keep 4 QBs.
No, they're not. They're not going to keep 3.
They've all played out crazy.
They have to keep 3 considering Zach Wilson's hurt. But once Zach Wilson is back, either Flacco or White gets cut. Why would you waste a roster spot on a third quarterback?
Flacco threw a terrible pick.
Surgery went well, according to Brian Robinson's Instagram
Glad to
post.
Hear that. Good, because you never know. Look what the thing with Sean Taylor was. He got stabbed in his leg, but hit the right artery, and that was it. Man, you never know, man.
All she wrote. So anyway, so the preseason comes and goes. The Jets, they definitely have a different aura. We've previewed all the teams so far. We'll get to the NFC West this week, and we'll get into that in a second. But first, I want to let you guys know that this show is being brought to you in part by Manscaped. If you want to go put 20% off your bill, go over promo code Manscaped. Promo code Chop Sports over at Manscaped. And of course, you also have the Fusco Insurance Agency. They're also a big part of everything we're doing here. In fact, he's coming here tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I just totally forgot about there's so much going on. So, I forgot. Actually, Fusco will be in the building tomorrow. So, hopefully, we'll get to, show him around and stuff, show him the digs. But go over to FuscoInsuranceAgency.com. He's going to help you with the retirement plans and really do some good things for you over there. And, of course, shout out to Steve Esparra, who's working on the relaunch, which goes and happens this week. So, the relaunch of ChopSportsMedia.com happens this week. So Steve Esparra has been working on that diligently. So thank you very much. And our friends at Dat Chat, our friends down the hall at Lowell's. We got a lot of friends in high places. So just shout out to everybody who's helped support the show.
Did we tell everybody what we're doing on the website? There's going to be some blogs, right? We're going to have some videos.
There is going to be some cool additions.
Stuff.
Yeah. So there's going to be some cool additions within the website. Obviously, the website's going to go from media-based, our content, to rentals. We want to make sure that people know that we're here for your rental needs, and being accepted into all these organizations and the Chamber of Commerce and everything that's happening is just going to make the doors swing open, and people are going to be able to come in here and record their own content. And I think that's a great thing. And they're probably saying I definitely want to go there with all those issues and stuff. I promise you, it's just the live show that really gives us a bugaboo. Because if you watch everything else that we do or everything else we produce, it's mint, it's flawless. And that's that. So, but anyway, so yes, ChopSportsMedia.com relaunches this week. I'm very excited about it. Scoop, not a good joke, but anyway, so let's move it on to the 2022 Seattle Seahawks. Okay, so clearly it's not a lot of excitement. The over-under right now is set at 5.5 wins, and last year a 7-10 record, and that was pretty much the tall tale sign that the end of the era. And for whatever reason, Pete Carroll somehow survived this. I don't know how. I don't know why a 70-plus-year-old man wants to be part of a rebuild, but
I don't either. It blows my mind. Why?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know. But here's the thing. So their losses, it starts at the top. Russell Wilson, goodbye.
Big loss.
Bobby Wagner, goodbye. Dwayne Brown, goodbye. Carlos Dunlap, goodbye. They lost a lot. DJ Reed to the Jets, a cornerback. The Seattle Seahawks lost every piece of talent that they had on this team outside of DK Metcalf and maybe Tyler Lockett. Now, their running back situation, again, murky, because all of a sudden you got an injury. They drafted Kenneth Walker III in the 3rd round, and he got hurt. He's got a groin thing going on, right? A hernia, but not a sports hernia, which, again, is a different hernia. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. But then like you have Charles Cross. They draft. They try to address that line to protect who? Just this past week, they announced their starting quarterback. It's Geno Smith. It's 2022, and Geno Smith is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Something's wrong here. And I'm not saying he's like not talented because he's won some games. He's played some good football over the course of his career. He's just not the guy to lead Seattle to the promised land. And I'm not even saying Drew Lock is that guy either. But maybe that guy lasts and is in the draft next year. Maybe that's what they're all trying to plan for. Now you have a brand new offensive tackle. He's going to protect the future investment, whoever that may be. The Seattle Seahawks and 49ers could not work out an interdivision trade with Jimmy G.
Blows my mind.
It does. Well, it blows my mind too. But like, would you, if you're the San Francisco 49ers, do you want to make them better? You know, like that's.
I could. Yeah, obviously, it's in division.
It's in division. It's tough.
Do you think this is also San Fran saying, "You're not. We want what we want, and you're just not going to give us anything for them"?
Apparently, the asking price was third rounder. So it's like, okay, here, you know. But the problem is when you trade for somebody, unlike a cut and a sign, when you trade for somebody, you got to inherit that entire massive contract. So that sucks. That contract is a lot. I think it's if he's on the 53-man roster, which again, tomorrow is cut down day to 53. If he's on the 53 tomorrow, he's guaranteed his salary this year.
The whole thing?
The whole fucking thing. Yes. So, whatever it is. His number, I think it was at 20 something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So they have to do something
today.
They have to do something today, yeah, because tomorrow's the deadline. So
and if they trade him, if they trade him,
they get him off the books.
Oh man,
$27 million is the cap hit right now.
Play backup quarterback. Hand me the clipboard, Dave.
right. So anyway,
wow.
Yeah, so that's the Jimmy G situation, but that okay, well, anyway, Jack is texting me. He's so late.
Yeah.
He's so late to the party, but that's okay, Jack. We love you, buddy. Anyway, he's actually texting me on the side. I can see it popping up in my little thing like, yo, man, I can hear you. I'm like, okay, cool. Anyway, so the Seattle Seahawks, we talked about their losses. Now, their gains, they do get Shelby Harris. They traded for Noah Fant. He's in the Russ deal. Marquise Goodwin, I guess, a receiver from Chicago. It's not a good team, man. It's really not a good team. And you look at this depth chart, and it's hurting. It's hurting right now. So obviously Geno Smith is your starter. Rashad Penny apparently is supposed to be your starting running back until Kenny Walker gets good. They do Travis Homer and DJ Dallas, both very good, capable running backs. I just don't know if you can carry the load. I feel awful for guys like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They're going to be out there just to dry. Like they're just not. There's no. To me, if I knew, like, you could play hero ball here. You can say, like, DK can be like, well, everybody can ship out, but I'm the guy. Like, this is my team now. I'll be the favorite, blah, blah, blah. So that's fine. Just nobody can throw you the ball. Yeah. That's the problem.
You need somebody there.
It is a problem.
You have to assume if they're saying Geno Smith is the starting quarterback, obviously coaches see that stuff too. But do you think didn't they just pay DK? Didn't he just sign something?
He signed like a mini extension. Nothing, not like blockbuster.
Wouldn't you think he'd be like, he obviously likes Geno throwing the ball better than Drew Lock, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would assume that if that's who they're saying is if Geno's the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got to be preference, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Their offensive line, like I said, they drafted Charles Cross. He's going to play right away. Gabe Jackson's over there. It's actually kind of questionable right now. Their defense is just yikes, man. It's just like I'm looking up and down this, and you see a guy, the back end, Jamal Adams might be the most overrated safety in football. This guy can't catch anything.
Out of nowhere.
He couldn't catch a cold during COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't catch shit. And it's a shame because what they gave up for him was like the farm. And like ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Quandre Diggs is good. Their kicker, Jason Myers, is good. It's just it's tough sledding this year for this team. They do open their season as we go into their schedule. They open their season. They are the Monday Night Football game against the Denver Broncos against Russ. So it's like Russ comes back to Seattle. It's like the fucking storylines write themselves. It's going to be tough sledding for this Seattle team. I'm just going to go and try to find some wins. And it's not going to happen. Russ is going to cook them, I think. And then they got to go at San Fran. So right off the rip, you're starting 0-2. Atlanta comes in, and I think Atlanta is going to be bad, but I like Mariota more than I like Geno Smith.
Yeah.
So I like
Kyle Pitts, all that, So
yeah,
we're seeing 0-3 to start the season, right? There.
Yeah. I mean, maybe right? At Detroit. I don't know about that either. You know, New Orleans, Arizona in the first 6 games, you know, so they're okay.
Wow.
So,
yeah, it's true. So do you think this is the worst team in the NFL?
Could be.
Yeah, if you got them beating Atlanta and Detroit, you know.
Yeah. So I am gonna reluctantly end the show right now. Don't want to do it, but I have to do it. So for Sturch and of course Wrestling Rob, we'll be back tomorrow. Okay, we will be back tomorrow. We'll finish up the Seahawks. We'll finish up all this stuff. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and sticking with me through this ordeal. But there are some more technical difficulties I have to work out. It happens, guys. It happens. So 11 o'clock tomorrow. Please tune in. And yeah, we'll see you then. So for Sturch and Wrestling Rob, this has been another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, and we will see you guys tomorrow.